Okay, so Justin Renfrow, for those, CFL fans will know his name, but he's originally from Philadelphia, spent a lot of time in the league: Arizona, Green Bay, Seattle, San Fran, Dallas Cowboys, Buffalo Bills, then in the CFL with Calgary, and then was dealt last year by the Stamps to the BC Lions and kind of helped that midseason turnaround, I thought, with the O-line. And Justin's a fan of this program. We finally get him on the air. Good morning, Justin. How are you?
Yes, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Good. I appreciate you getting up early, if this is early for you out there in Vancouver and the BC time change. And how's life with the BC Lions right now? It's quite a turbulent last 6 months for you guys.
Definitely getting here was definitely a big, quick change for me. Got here, played that first game versus Hamilton. I feel like we got on a little bit of a roll. Definitely made a push for the playoffs, and then now with a good friend of mine and a great coach, Clay Brooks, being let go, things became a little bit of turmoil here. I'm a free agent, so we'll see kind of where it shakes out, but I'm still here in Vancouver, still kind of doing the community stuff, seeing the people of BC, and just enjoying the off season while we let things settle.
Well, we're obviously going to look ahead here, but just with that trade with you moving on from the Stampeders, anybody that comes into Calgary, is going to be a quality player. So everybody knew that you were, but there's a lot of numbers in Calgary, right? That trade for you to BC, the Stamps said, we just want to give Justin a chance to play. It worked out really well, didn't it?
Yeah, worked out well. Had a lot of fun. The day I got traded, Suk Chung hit me up, and he was pretty much like, let's go. Let's go make some plays. And so it was a lot of fun for me. It just, I've been working hard like every off season, training twice a day. Cause in the NFL, I got converted to an O lineman. So I've only been doing this about 3 years or so. I was a D lineman pretty much my whole life. So a lot of off seasons, training twice a day, kind of trying to just make my, trying to get the chance to make my mark, and I feel like I showed the hard work definitely is paying off. A lot of thanks to Jay at Footwork Lab for the off-season work, getting my feet right.
John Lynch here, Justin. BC Lions have made a big change, of course, a new coach. How has that changed the atmosphere out in BC, or has it changed it at all?
I'm here, still going to the facility every day, lifting with Coach Boyko. I've met Rick Campbell a handful of times, and then right now, because we both stay in the same building, I see him in the lobby here and there. Great guy. I think people are eager to see who comes, so we could all get to work and then basically see how the chips fall. So I think, you got to wait. We only have a coach right now. We don't have an OC. No O-line coach is officially named. So you got to let those chips fall before you can really say there's a pulse or anything around the locker room.
Hey, Justin, I got to give a shout out to Coach Boyko, by the way, who's got to be a good associate of mine. Talked with Wally about Chris. He said one of the best in the business. Can you say hey to him for me this morning? And why is he so good? Yeah, as the Lions strength coach, what makes him so good?
For me personally, I think it's he attacks what every guy needs. Like right now, I'm doing a lot of upper body work, kind of letting my lower body rest, and I'm still in there getting great work in the season, from lifting to the manual work to the stretching before games. When you start getting into those late games, you need that, and he's always right there. So for me, it was a big part of getting through the season was his recovery work and helping my body.
Now, I don't really know where to go with this question, so you lead me. When this coaching, you know what I'm talking about. When this coaching stuff was coming out, particularly in hockey, what I'm calling the Me Too movement with abusive coaches, you were very vocal with thoughts on that. So where do you want to go with that?
For me, I had heard about, I actually got invited to a Canucks game, and it was when we were in the suite, and I actually just saw like just the headlines about it, and I did it more of a post because recently I've been out in the BC community, and a lot of people are just vocal about well, why do you do so much? So that was more what it came about from. It just happened. This is also the time, like all this NHL stuff is kind of circulating as well. But yeah, that's how it came about.
Right, but this is he reached out to us 10 days ago, and I
Yeah.
said, I'm going
Yeah.
away. I'm not hosting these shows. Can you wait until I get back to come on? Because was there an incident in your past that you wanted to talk about? That was kind of the
Yeah.
sense that I got from your post.
Yeah. So in what was that? My redshirt junior year at Virginia. Uh, we had just come off beating Penn State, but every game you can get better. And I remember, like, for me, a Pennsylvania kid, that had been a big game. That was kind of one of the few games while I was at Virginia that I actually got a lot of playing time. And I simply asked to use hand ropes. And any D lineman knows the hand ropes keep your hands in so you strike the breastplate. Well, my coach decided his response to that was he only needed the hand ropes to hang me and the other black defensive lineman from the shed that was behind them. And so that kind of started the wind down of me leaving Virginia and then going to Miami. But it just, things circulated. I became, it was said I was trying to divide the team by just saying he shouldn't be allowed to say this to us. I had at people who know about the University of Virginia, there's an honor council. When I was trying to transfer to Miami, I had a fake honor case brought up on me. Like, things just snowballed for me just being vocal on, hey, a coach just said he was going to hang me and you guys aren't doing anything about it. So that was kind of the post I said. And then also it was a big thing. Like, a big thing when I do go to the community is I talk to the kids and I tell them they can, because a big thing during that period was every coach throughout the Virginia staff told me to give up football, told me not to play anymore. So just 2 years removed from all that, and that was a big part of the post. I was holding the NFC Championship trophy on the way to a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. So that was the big nuts and bolts of the post. It tied into a lot of the NHL stuff that's going on right now. But that's the big gist of my post there.
Well, thank you for telling that. And that was the thing with Justin. He's like, hey, everybody's talking about this hockey. How about what went on with Virginia when I was there? Was your post. Can I just ask you how you persevered and you didn't quit? Because most would have, I would think.
I think a lot of it just, I don't know, that spring when they were like, we report the first day for it would have been my senior year of spring ball. And I show up and they say, I was told you're not still on the team. To then this is all in 1 week. To then the next day I talked to the head coach and basically I'm on a probationary period now on the team. To then by the third day, I'm in the strength coach's office and he's saying, why are you even here? You're not good enough to play. And from that, like, I'm not good enough to play. And I've known because that's the other thing. Like, my dad would come to practices and they had to go so far as to shut down practices. So my dad couldn't come watch. I knew I could play. My dad's not one of those dads that will just tell you, oh, you can play, son. Like, he would tell me days I sucked. He would say, you didn't make no plays in that practice. You can't go nowhere playing like that. So I knew I could play. It was just a matter of I had to buckle down, take the 19 credits, leaving the transfer. We already knew that the teacher was lying and two Virginia staff people were lying. The honor council people told Miami, and then the Miami coaches had recruited me as a junior in high school. So they had the faith in me, and I knew it was Miami. So if I went and played, I'd have a shot. So
good people saved you and belief in yourself, basically.
Yeah. Coach Al Golden, my parents, and Coach D'Onofrio. I mean, I had known those guys. Coach Golden and D'Onofrio had reached out to me pretty much as a sophomore in high school, telling me to come play at Temple at the time. So I had a good rapport with them since the beginning. So it was an easy choice.
Have you told this story to anybody since, or is this the first?
This is probably the first time. I mean, other than when I first transferred to Miami, I'm sitting in Coach Golden's office, and he said to me, he's like, because you have to get a final. Once I'm there, all the papers go through. You got to get a final sign off from your old head coach, and it's the day. It's like 2 days in the training camp. Coach London hasn't signed off, and so I told Coach Golden the whole story, and I think that's pretty much the last time I told this story. I told Coach Golden the whole story in his office, and then within 30 minutes, he was like, okay. And then whatever he said to Coach London about him knowing everything that went on, within 30 minutes, that paper was signed, and I was on the field practicing. So I think that's probably the last time since now I even told the story, because I still had to worry. I still had it in the back of my head the whole time. Like, I'm in the NFL, CFL, football world's small, especially when you get to pro football. So, and people talk. Because, like, for me, like, my first NFL sack as a D lineman came against Evan Marcus, the same coach who told me I wasn't even gonna be there. He was the head strength coach of the Vikings. So, those people still keep going in the world. And the world comes full circle. That's my first sack. He has to watch it. But still, he's in that world. And that voice is still a voice that somebody's going to listen to. So you got to watch.
How does it feel to get it off your chest today? And thanks for waiting, by the way, since you first reached out the week plus to get on here. How does it feel to get it off your chest?
I mean, it's not a big chest thing. I think it's more – I hope people understand, like, more people now start to understand, like, oh, that's why Justin Renfrow is out there all the time with different kids, no matter who the kid is, helping them. And I feel like a lot of people ask, so it's more just like, hey, that's the reason. And I don't need to always defend myself and things like that. I don't need the story. Like, I don't need the story to go out so that somebody gets fired or this or that. I want the story to go out so that kid on Facebook Live whose coach is telling him right now to not even play football the next year, he still suits up next year. And so that's what I wanted to come on the show for, because I know I'm not the only one that's gone through something like that or is going through.
No, not at all. And by the way, note from producer Clark for you. Stories like this will help others get through tough times. Thank you for sharing, Justin. And I really appreciate it, man. Yeah. Thanks. And by the way, you've been supporting this show since like day one. So I want to thank you for that.
Yeah.
And good luck in free agency. Fun. Yeah, thanks for this and keep appreciate in touch.
It. All right, I will. Y'all have a good day. Thank you for having me.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.